for years, I was fully aware of my weaknesses. I was fully aware that I am very, very uncomfortable with wide stance, whether it be squats or deadlifts. In fact, even bench press, for a long, long time, I knew that I'm just very weak in those positions. And so what did I do for years on end? Simple. Avoid it. Just avoid it. Just train how you want to train where you're good at, and just keep on improving that. Now, after all these years, I realized that was such a fatal mistake when it comes to programming, training. Like that right there is the reason why I think I didn't improve at a rate that I was envisioning I was going to improve. This right here, this is probably the next point, it is the biggest point of them all. I think that right there is why I had hip pain. Could you imagine being so uncomfortable in a position and then developing pain in this particular body part and still continuing to avoid that particular position? It's just uncomfortable. I'm so weak in that position that I'm just not made for that. My hips, they come out at a certain angle, they're a certain depth, all this stuff that all these guys talk about on their social media pages. No, you're just not made to do that. And then I remember, this just popped into my head. I remember Louis Simmons talking about why wide stance squats are better than narrow stance squats. He used to spend hours on end talking about this, but there was one particular video where he basically said, well, how do you box? Do you box in a narrow stance, as in your feet, or do you go wide? And then I envisioned like Mike Tyson, all these guys, you go wide, man. How do you play defense in basketball? You go wide. How do you get ready for anything? You go wide stance, like you spread your base and you try to like get that torque into that punch, and you try to get your feet wide so you have a bigger base of support so you can slide your feet in basketball. It's just all these kind of like little snippets of thought, of memories that I have in my mind right now, that all of it pointed it to just get stronger in the positions that you suck at. It's so simple, man. Just do all these lifts that you do in the gym. Do all the variations that you know about, and then just highlight the ones that you really, really suck at. How many people are really, really strong in sumo stance deadlifts? So much stronger. Okay, train the conventional, man. For me, like my conventional deadlift is so much better than my sumo. Like with sumo, I'm terrible. I can't even get into the position properly. I end up just doing a wide conventional. That's what you got to train, man. After all these years, like even the bench press, I suck wide. Train the wide. These lifts, these weaknesses are the low-hanging fruit. Like right now, dude, I'm doing 120 kilo wide stance squats, and they are legit very challenging for me. So what's a better use of my time? Loading up 180, doing 5 sets of 5, or doing 120 really wide and really, really challenging me? Of course, the 180 is very challenging as well, but that's not my weakness, dude. And that is so costly. This is so cheap. Like I could do this 5x5 every single day. And, the argument is, what's going to benefit you overall systemically? It has to be the low-hanging fruit, man. It has to be the stuff that you're not good at. Because once you bring that up, that is so super, super easy to bring up. It is very hard to improve that strength of 180 for 13. Just to get another rep, like I have to die for the next rep. But these 120 kilo wide stance squats, I can just bring that up so easily. Just a little bit of attention over the next few months, and it's up into 140, 160, who knows? Try increasing your damn primary score 20 kilos in a couple of months. Impossible, dude. Impossible. But this stuff, it's just sitting around waiting you to freaking pick it. It's so freaking easy. Now, the other conversation is, it's boring. I don't want to look like that when I squat. Hey, I'll put my hand up for that as well, man. I thought that way as well. I think these squats look absolutely horrible. Horrible. I don't want to move like that. But I should have the option to move like that. I don't want to have a complete black hole of human movement. Oh no, I can't step this way because my hip is going to dislocate. Nah, man, you have to be strong everywhere. Everywhere you have to be strong. Sure, you're always going to have this physiological, genetic potential for certain lifts. Like, if you got certain build, you're going to be very, very good at high bar squats. A certain build, low bar squats, bench press, all that stuff. Get it. But that doesn't mean you avoid all the other weaker lifts. In fact, I would argue you should probably spend most of your time in the weaker stuff. Because think about it. Okay, so you are much, much weaker in the sumo deadlift. Why? What tissue in your hips and your back and your legs, what tissue is lacking there? Like, what is lacking? If it's grossly underperforming compared to your conventional deadlift, okay, a little bit of that can be explained by just your morphology, how you're built. But it can't be 100 kilo difference, dude. Something has to be going on. Maybe you got a weak back. Maybe you got weak quads. Maybe you got weak adductors. Maybe you can't stabilize your hip flexors when you go really wide stance, right? So I think some of these training sessions should be just looking super easy to the eye, because the barbells are half loaded to what your potential is in your strong stance. I think that's brilliant, man. It's really brilliant, and it fits into the squat every day really well, because it's super sub maximum loads for high intensity, because it's a weird stance. I think it's brilliant, man. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.